Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Jay Talks Today's Relationship Show. All right, we back with the very funny, humorous, real cast of the show with. Why y'all already giggling? I mean, I ain't saying.
It's the way you
What?
Look at everybody.
What? I mean, all right. Well, let me get this thing rolling. I am the J.
All right, the J. All right, okay. All right.
The Lady J, your cereal.
All right. I guess y'all want to tell who y'all are?
Yeah,
who
Sister
you are?
Soldier here.
And Ricky Rick here also.
All right. Who we got up in D.C.? Gotta get you know, we gotta get the cast out of the way. And right there in the center, we got none other than the big, fabulous. Anniversary of the y'all. You know, I'm just being mean. But since I don't have it, y'all just imagine. Colada Luster.
Yeah, all right.
For my anniversary titles, and she gave us the title for the show today.
Yeah.
And it's called How to Love Yourself or Being in Love with Anyone Else.
All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is her first appearance on that show, so y'all give her much love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the conversation. Okay, because you bought the stuff and we liked it.
Yeah.
And we chose it.
Yeah.
To be on that show for our anniversary.
Yeah, anniversary.
Today,
1 year.
1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary. All right. So tell us, how did you come up with that topic?
I have 3 daughters.
Huh.
And to hear them talk about love, it's funny. Because they're always in love. In love. In love.
Okay, what are the ages?
26, 24, and 20.
We can tell what's on your mind. Anyway, the show must go well.
All right.
And that was just most important thing, them to love who they were before they tried to tell somebody else that they was in love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you think that age, is too young to even figure out what love is?
I don't think they quite know what being in love is, but just like I had experienced it, they're going to have to be telling them that you're not in love. It's not the same as them realizing they're not in love. You can't tell your children you're not in love.
Right. Because everybody got a definition for their own love. Right.
Exactly.
For how they feel in love.
But if you love yourself, you know what love is. So when you fall in love, when it is love.
Right.
Okay.
So how can we teach our children and ourselves to love ourselves?
Well, it has to start with you.
Yeah, but somebody got to teach us. I mean, we could different people been raised different. People were raised with love in the household but never show love. But they know it's love the way their parents teach them.
But that's what everybody has to go about it themselves. And you have to find your own journey. That's why I'm saying how to learn love to you. Because your love of you is not the same as me finding my love for me.
Okay.
Or for...
Some people don't know how to, love themselves.
That's what
I mean, you saying they got to find their own journey. Okay, they cannot find their own journey if they don't know how to go about to get to that journey. You see what I'm saying? I mean, how could you find a way to love yourself and you don't know how to find the way to yourself? I mean, somebody got to teach you. Somebody, you got to read a book, go to a spiritual guide or something. I mean, because even though we have to learn it, how to go about learning? That's just like reading. Okay, I can't teach myself how to read. Somebody has to teach me.
Well, can I give you an answer, an analogy of Ricky Rick?
Yes,
you
Ricky
know it's
Rick.
going off in the valley somewhere, but this is Ricky Rick, and I'm not normal. But anyway, but to answer to your question for me is a question to me. The way I found out how to love, I had to learn how to love God first, because that's all I had. Because being brought up with my parents dying so young, what I had wasn't actually love. I had regret and questions on why my mother and father and then my grandfather, why did they have to die so quick? So for me, the way I was able to show love to my children is first I had to learn to forgive God, which he didn't do anything wrong, in order to learn to love him. And then through God, I learned to love myself, and then I showed love to my children from that point. So I had to go to a spiritual point to find us in order to teach love to my children and in order to love. But this is just Ricky Rick, because you know I'm strange.
And that was Ricky Rich. That's what I'm saying. That's you have to go. You found your way through your spirituality.
Yes.
You found your way. It's all about. Well, that's just the way I feel about it. You have to find, and you go about yourself to find what it is that's gonna make you want to love yourself. It might not be the spiritual way. For me, it might not be the spiritual way.
That's what I think Sister Soldier was asking you. She was saying, what was your way that you found to love, to teach your children love?
But that's not what she asked me. She asked me,
sorry.
how do someone go about finding this? And that's
Brother Jay,
no, you're not being attacked. You just want to clarify.
Lady can't save me. Save me.
Right. Because, some people, everybody don't know how to find love. Everybody don't love. Everybody who think or don't love themselves don't know how to go about loving themselves or finding love. I mean, you go to the church of spirit, but a physical love is different from spiritual love. And I don't mean physical in a sexual way, but I mean physical as being in person, being in body. Where spiritual love is a different kind of love. And if one have never taught love, period, how could you love yourself? Because you got people that comes from broken homes, abusive relationship, abusive homes. If you come from a abusive relationship and you come to realize that that is not the way to have a relationship, because he's beating you or she's beating you or whatever, and then you get out that relationship, what made you stop to that relationship period? You start to love yourself. You start to say, well, this ain't love. He beating on me, it's not love. So you start loving yourself. But then you got to go more on that, because
I'm gonna.
What you got, Kay?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in here real quick.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump in here real quick. All right. It's a journey to self-realization about loving yourself. It is a personal journey. You cannot find it in a book. You cannot find it through someone else's eyes. It is a personal journey. It is something that has to trigger within yourself. It becomes a personal realization. I mean, loving yourself before you can love someone else is the optimal way, but a lot of people don't go about it in that particular way. They look through someone else's eyes, try to get an idea of what love is.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a personal journey. How do you know? How do you learn how to love yourself? You don't. Um, you really there's no set way to learn how to love yourself. But what I believe happens is that one day it's like a light bulb going on. You click a switch, and just instinctively and distinctly within yourself, that you've reached that point. I mean, growing up, I had a loving household. I did, and yet and still, I didn't know myself. I entered into crazy relationships because I was trying to fulfill my idea of love through someone else. But now at age, 45 is when I met my boyfriend. I finally come to the place where I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what it is that I want. I know exactly what it is that I don't want. And it's been a personal journey. Nobody could tell me to go read this self-help book, and that I would just get it. It didn't happen like that. It came through life experiences. I understand what she's saying about, they have to learn on their own, which is true. You can't, I have children the same ages. I would love to tell them, that person is not good for you. That person is not good for you. But we as parents, as soon as you try to do that, to try to give them a little push in the right direction, because we are where they're trying to get to, it's hard. It's hard. But the thing about it is that, that's an experience that even though you may not want them to have it, they may need to have it in order to get to that self-realization. Some people never get there. They never.
I agree with that, Lady K.
Right.
That's acceptable. That's a good analogy of what you were saying.
But that's basically what I'm saying when she was saying when she was bringing up about the abusive relationship, when they learn to love themselves. I mean, it might take that person going through abusive relationships several times, and before they get to the point where they're gonna love themselves, because they think that abusiveness is the way they're supposed to be loved, because that's what they was thrown to, and they thinking that's them loving themselves. Okay, he beats me, right? They think that's the norm. That's why, he ain't gonna love me unless he beat me, and that I think that's where, especially. Sorry.
Yes, Lady K.
It's okay. A big part of that too is the images that showing to our young women and to our young men through television, through media, through music. It's these images. You could come from, quote unquote, the best of households and, see these images of women being kicked, women being called names. I hate listening to some music that, I hear coming out of people's car radios where a female is disrespected by being called out of her name. And that's popular music. A big rapper had a song about the PIMP. Okay, it's nothing to be glorified to be a pimp. When did that become? During the 1970s, when we had all of these black exploitation movies. Come on, they said these are negative images. They may be negative images, but they are real, and it's what's in society. But the thing about it is that a lot of our youth, our young people, are influenced by what they visually see and by what they audibly hear. And it's not always necessarily what's going on in their immediate circle. It could come from media. And now we have the internet. We have social media. It's even more abundant. They think that it's okay for a woman to be on top, with everything popping out. When I was growing up, well, not when I was growing up, because they still have stuff popping out, but like when my grandma was growing up, it was unacceptable. It was unacceptable. You didn't go out showing all of your goodies. But now it's acceptable. And you got men walking around
I hate that
hanging
too.
low,
Mm-hmm.
you know, low eyes, put your pants up, put on a belt, and tighten your belt, you know. But the thing is that these are images that are being portrayed to our people as being acceptable. Women being slapped, women being punched, being knocked down. You know, men, same thing. Women abuse men. It happens.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, these are the images that they see and acceptable. And what we have to do is change that. We have to modify that.
Okay. You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing some of the each and every one of you all have heard, you know, from the woman's standpoint, from the battered or abused woman, to the neglected woman, to the misguided woman, and you did speak some areas on the men, and pertaining to the topic, how to love yourself before being in love with someone else. I just want to kind of raise a question, or and I when being in love to someone else, the end. Okay. Well, I'm kind of looking at, you know, we have a lot of relationships, since we are a relationship show. A lot of relationships where a lot of people, you know, they get involved, they come together, and they're saying those words, as what's in the topic. You know, I love you. I'm in love with you. And they really don't have love for themselves, and you know, and one of the things I'm really idealistically looking at is, how do you, as the topic was, how to love yourself. So I'm saying, how do you come to love yourself, even when if you're in a relationship, you tell somebody you love them, but if you haven't come to know what love is for yourself, how can you actually portray love to someone else? And because you know what love is, to love yourself, you evidently can't know what love is to love with somebody else. I mean, that's how I'm overviewing it.
That's my.
Well, yeah, you know, there are different levels to love. There are different kinds of love. And I think that some people may read it as, you know, I can show love to someone without being in love with that person. What about those people?
Oh, I can show love to someone without being in love with them? Well, I mean, I guess we have to come to a definition.
I love. Okay, well, back to what you was getting to about loving yourself. If you, the confidence that you have in persons, and loving yourself and your God, your society, your being, you can. If you're not within you loving you, you don't know what it is. But when you're confident in yourself and your love for yourself, then you know how to express that love. You know how to give that love. I mean, that's the only way you could. That's the way I've learned in my 40 minutes of life.
You know what? What was that? blah blah blah.
Can we
We got another person working on.
Can we get rights on that?
We got somebody working on their professionalism too.
We can get right. Can we get copyrights on that?
I got
Blah blah
professionalism.
blah. Can we get the
I can
copyrights?
tell you've been watching our show.
We need to get copyrights on that.
But I think we get pressure. Our youth today get pressure from the media about how love should be, how one should love somebody. When they do the diamond commercial, what is that commercial where he showed the diamond? You
Oh
do
yeah,
anything for
diamonds
the
are
diamond.
forever.
I can't think the
Which one?
name of it.
Everything. K. Which one?
K, yeah. K.
Yeah.
Everything begins with K.
He went to Jerry. Which
No, it's the
one?
K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can he bring that down?
Yeah,
He
because
gets the hug.
our young people now today is misled by social media and media. This is how you're supposed to love somebody. This is how they supposed to. This is how it should be. They lost their history to a certain extent, and I guess some of them don't really care. But if you get pressured by the media, then you put your own concept you feel mixed with their love. Well, it's teaching them, you ain't gotta love yourself first. But you gotta do this, you gotta open the door, this and this and this. But what it should come down to. Father showed his son how to be a young man and how to treat that you and for yourself. Because when your father said, well,
you know what? And I'll be back.
no, we were just
said
saying
you look like
that
her
you,
today.
hold up, we were just saying we half found the way you look
Yeah.
today. You look like
Oprah.
you look a little bit like
Yeah.
My baby said Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
okay.
What does she want?
Well, Jay Turner was last week. I guess
It's her turn now.
My hair.
Jay Turner was last week. I guess it's your week.
Everybody hair other than his this week. So.
At the first picture I took looked like I was in jail. Like I was in jail. So we pick on each other.
Oh yeah, I know.
But we love each other. Yes, Lady K.
But back to what Oprah was saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everybody has a father in their life. Not everybody has that father that, well, I was about to say Bill Cosby image, but his image has been tarnished lately, but we're not going to go there.
A little bit.
Not everybody has a comfortable dad, and
Yeah.
they grow up in an environment where they did not have that they still manage to find themselves and find that love for themselves. So I don't think it's necessary. It's kind of like saying nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
I think it's not always nurture because not everybody has that influence in their life. A motherly influence in their life. They may not have that. That this is how a young lady should be treated. Then you have some people growing up in households that's not the Cosby household, but then they still turn out okay.
Yeah.
So they learn through, like I said, through life experiences. It's a process. It's a personal journey, and when you reach it. You know when you reach it.
Right.
That's something that you instinctively and innately know within you. You know when you reach it. The problem is that we see other people headed down a crazy path, and we try to assist them. But when we think about it, when we were going down that crazy path, there was probably somebody trying to assist us as well. And
but you wouldn't listen.
You still had to go through what you had to go through.
Right. lesson. That's your life lesson.
That's right. And
Life
you need to go through what you need to go through.
right.
But see, that's what I'm saying with myself, with my girl, with my my young ladies, is that as long as they can see through me how I care about myself, I'm the
Party type, the mom and street.
I can't say
Soccer
that
mom.
because I have been.
Oh, okay.
You know, I
Soccer
think I'm a
mom.
young mom. I said 40 something, but my oldest is 26. So I was a young single parent, but I did my time. I'm a veteran also, and I done did my workforce, and I've been a single parent. I done been a widow, but just them seeing what I've been through and my journey is not enough
Right.
to guide them towards love. It's my thing. It's
Because
just
they'll tell you that's when you
right. Because Mama, you was a long time. You was
yeah.
but long as they can see, that's my thing. Is if they can see that I'm still focused about me. I mean, not about me. I'm not vain or anything, but
It's okay to be vain on this show.
as Tyler Perry said, I love me some me.
Yeah.
I love me some me, but I love me some anything. I love God too. Don't get me wrong on that. He is first and foremost, but I love me some me because He gave me me.
Yes.
I could have been somebody else, but I'm me. So I love me.
I had an experience I want to share. First of all, I'm gonna do it a two-part. Sister Soldier, I want to ask you this question. Is there a difference between how a man...
I heard a question.
Okay.
Because I say something crazy. You know I'm going to say something crazy, right?
I'm gonna give the first one to Sister Soldier, and I'm gonna give the second, the two-part to you, Lady K. Love as a father, and I'm gonna use the Carletta. Sister Carletta has daughters. It's the love that a father teaches a girl more needed than the mother that teaches the girl.
Yes.
The second question you can answer is for me, Lady K, is as a single parent, go to teach your child love, or is it less difficult if you have two parents in the family with girls? And you can go first, Sister Soldier.
For that question?
For the question for teaching love to a girl or mother.
Mine was, I think it's a man, because only a man know how a man thinks. So I think it's better if a man teach his daughter about love than the mother will. Okay? Even though we women
You asked them. Yeah,
and we know
You ask the women.
You asked
and
them.
we know mother's gonna tell us things anyway along the way what our father teach us. So but I ain't gonna answer the second part of that. K asked.
Okay, Lady K, I said again. The question was to you. Is it difficult to teach a child love in a single parent home or a two parent home? That's difficult.
It doesn't matter whether you're a single parent. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter whether you're in a single parent home or in a home two parents. It doesn't matter. Love is love. I've seen plenty of women raising sons, teaching them how to love. And I had brothers who are single fathers raising daughters, teaching a little girl how to love, or showing, in their personal life. And when I say teaching, I don't mean that they sit down and give them lectures. I don't mean it like that. I mean just demonstrating through their daily walk what they do. One of my brothers was single. He raised his little girl for the time she was an infant. And he did not remarry until after she was grown and out of the home. But he dated, while she was coming up through the years. And he always showed her through his other relationships how he treats a woman. Now, did she pick the best person? That's her decision. But I don't see the same type of relationship, and that's looking from the outside in, that she has necessarily than how my brother, I see my brother treat women in his life. So it really doesn't matter. It's up to the individual person. You can't say one is better than the other. Because I know plenty of people that stay together for the kids' sake, and it's bad.
Okay.
But that all goes back to how them persons felt about themselves too.
Totally
Yeah.
separate.
Right.
Okay, Brother Jay.
It really does.
Well, I'm just, I'm sitting back. I'm like in the chill zone today. But
Always in the chill zone.
that's because I'm the J.
You the J?
Yeah.
That's how I am when I'm
You know. But yeah, I'm listening, and one of the things I go back to is that for things to actually work at least on a good basis or acceptable basis, there has to be structure, and if there's not structure, then that means things can go any kind of way, any kind of direction, any kind of way. And so when we say love, and it's so amazing how, I mean, and it's true, what all of you all said, that that love for different people means different things. And if there's so many different definitions or so many different outlooks, that means there's no structure. And so how can we ever really know what love really looks like if we don't have a foundation? If we don't have an outlook to be able to say, well, that's love, or, this person has love. How can we recognize when somebody has love for us if we don't have a structure? Because anybody can think they're doing or performing or portraying the acts of love, they have nothing to measure it by. And because, Bible says this, as a man thinketh, so is he. And then there's another one that says, there's a way unto man that seems as though it's right. So if we, a man could be beating on his wife and still saying, that's my love for you. I got love for you. But, if there's nothing to measure it by, we say he's wrong, I mean, I'm just, y'all help me out, because I'm not seeing this structure here. All right?
Brother Jay, I think you struck the nerve.
When he just said, when he just said, when a man love, what was it he just said?
Beating on the woman.
Yeah, beating on the woman. He said that's his love for her.
Yeah.
Unless he has an exact.
I want to love. He beat me like that,
But wasn't it God for us that He sent His Son?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not the structure.
No.
You won't.
I'm not getting into
No.
to me to
Well, that's loving that someone else that you taking up for, yeah.
because when they come with the structure that I'm supposed to go
Okay,
by.
let me
with
put some
love.
clarity on what Brother Jay said. And I'm going to say it the same way he did, but different. Brother Jay said, if a man chooses in his relationship to and he perceives that as being good, and at the time the wife perceives outside entity comes in and says, I just don't think that's right, and
Right.
you shouldn't do that. Then the man and the husband have a tendency to go, you know what, I never thought about that, what other people thought about it. Well, you know what, honey, maybe I shouldn't do that. She may say at that point, you know what, I wanted to say something like that. So then the man will change his ways. He should. But until he gets another example, he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, trying to say. But what Ricky said, that's the burn in bed. Light them up. But it will light them up. But I want to get on to our young people because they don't have love for this. Because they disrespecting their mature, I ain't gonna say older person, when they're out in public. They cuss in front of them. They use the N-word in front of them. They threaten them. Showing the draws. They fight, trying to kill each other now. Young people doing more fighting in school and outside, and taping it on and putting it on social media. So I'm not gonna say where these parents at to take them self-love, but if somebody got a phone and they taking your picture, you fight this girl, they want to be on social media, put on posts, they'll continue going just to be that that was me on Facebook. But we have to, I think we should do something and talk more to our young people about loving themselves. Now, we have some older viewers that watch the show, but I'm sure they past the age where they done, they love themselves now.
Yeah.
But what we need to do now is our social media need to hit on the young folks to love themselves, because if they love themselves and have respect for themselves, we have less things happening, less crimes, less bullying, and less everything else, that be on social media. So we should talk more about the them helping themselves.
I think that when it comes to loving yourself, honestly, I don't think that there's a on that. There's some young people that love themselves, and it's evident. There's some middle-aged people that love themselves, and it's evident. And there's some older people that love themselves, and it's evident. Side to that coin, it stretches across every age group. You got some older people that at 50 and 60 years old still don't know how to love themselves. So I don't think that because they're older, necessarily that means that they got it.
No, but you got I understand what you're saying, but they're having more so than a young person. But I'm not trying to already know it. I'm trying to hit the people that don't know it, that don't know how to fall in love with themselves. Don't know how to love themselves.
Think about it. But think about it. We're talking about we're talking about how social media plays such a big part in this. Okay, there's some of us that grew up in the 70s, and we were watching movies like Superfly, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, being a drug pusher was the thing to do. You watching Superfly, you watching Dolomite, you watching Starsky and Hutch. You watching.
Hey, that like is that we got our
Where else have you been?
I can't say
I don't know what you're talking about, but his name was Husband Bear.
Oh,
His
okay.
name was Antonio Fargas. His real name. And he played Huggy Bear.
That's all right.
But thank you.
You let your hair down.
That's right. But even though we had that, we had Pam Grier and Sheba Baby.
Yeah,
all
Sheba,
right.
I remember
We
that.
had all of these. You know, we had who was it? Diane Carroll playing Julia, a nurse. We had all these images, both male and female, both positive and not positive. You know, and throughout all of that, at 40 something, at 50 something for some of y'all on the show.
Hey, don't be trying to jump on my age. You done put yours out there.
Yeah, just because you put on, that's what don't tell her.
She heard her
Hey,
sheets.
we the only one got short hair, y'all. So we, you know, what that.
Take it easy. I'm 25.
I mean, yeah, 25 plus 30, but you know, I think that we should talk about what loving yourself looks like. What the characteristics that you can say, you know, well, when like I like what she said. She said, "I love me some me."
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
When I say the same thing, I do. I love me some me.
Yeah, you do say that all the time, Lady
When
K.
I say I love me some me, that
Yeah.
means that I love you. Right about that.
Yeah.
That I have some intelligence. I love the fact that I am able to take care of myself. I love the fact that I don't need someone to tell me you're pretty, or you're beautiful. I feel pretty. I feel beautiful. You feel me?
Now we
I
talking
don't
some
need
stuff.
somebody to tell me, somebody tell me, well, I think you kind of thick. You know, I think
love
I'm
my
thick. So, and just like my dress that I had on that Jeffrey said was not flattering.
She's never gonna let you down with that dress.
Then you live yourself.
And I wore it again. You're right about that. The black dress. You're right. I don't need someone to tell me
Exactly.
what makes me look good. I complete me. I don't need someone else to complete me.
Right.
So, what are some of the things, you know, like Sister Soldier, for instance? Sister Soldier, love her some her. And I know that because she's my girl.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You love you some you. So what is it about you that you love? What realization have you come to? Because by you saying these realizations, maybe you can help someone else. Because they may not know what it looks like to love yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
They may not know what to look for. You know what I'm saying?
I love me some me because I know I'm a strong black woman.
That's one of the things I was kind of looking for. Was that's what I was talking about, structure. Because you know when you can't use the same word to describe the same word. You can't say, you know, well, you know, I love me, and so if you don't have something to define what is love,
Right, about
because you know, then you're really not saying anything. I'm you know, if y'all don't mind me saying it.
Something, it's just nobody understands
You know,
what you're saying.
and you know, as we're saying, how to love yourself. So, what are some of the details of how do you love yourself? What I mean, you know, but just say, without saying, love yourself. What are some? I'll throw some. I'm gonna throw some. Y'all want the
Come on,
J?
the J.
Oh, okay, the J. All
Lord,
right.
somebody-
All right.
No, don't do
Anyway,
that, 'cause
now.
he would never
Now,
tell you.
Politician.
I listen to the show, people. I
He's talking to
All right.
a man for the Senate.
Oh,
Go
y'all
all
done opened up the
know. He
doors.
come to a politician when it comes to that.
Oh, y'all done opened up the anyway.
You gonna start with the J? We're all gonna do
What I'm really saying is down to it, and I'll probably say more at closing, but is that as you were saying, Lady K, you know, if I say I love myself, then what is it that I love myself? How can I come to love me? What are I need to recognize what are the things that I really want that Jeff, you know,
Okay, you talking
who do I want to be recognized as? I mean, like you were saying, you're independent. I mean, all these things. How do I love me? Do I want to be independent? Do I want to be dependent? I mean, know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you can't come to a point where you actually love yourself, because you don't know what you're loving. And it's just the same as being in love with somebody else, because if you don't have an idea of a structure of a person and their character, their personality, who they are, then you'll love anything or anybody for any kind of reason without structure. And if you don't have the structure in your own life, you evidently it's gonna be passed on in the same type of way that you affiliate with somebody else without structure, and you'll pull almost anybody or any kind of character into your life, because you haven't set structure for your own.
That's right.
Well, Brother Jay, I've been wanting to say this. I've just been sitting back listening what the cast has been sharing, because it's wonderful, and Sister, the emphasis that you put forward in your understanding and awareness of knowledge of love and how to love your daughters and everything. And then Brother Jay spoke of structure, and what I feel like he said to me, it takes structure. You have to have structure in place in order before love can find its place. And I'm just saying like that. But I can go back to, of course, I was a single parent. I raised my daughter and my son from 3 and 4 years old all by myself. Didn't have a living girlfriend, nothing, just raised them by myself. And I came up against some obstacles that I wasn't ready for with my son, and especially my daughter, but I go with my son first. The structure that I taught my son was 2 elements. He always wanted Michael Jordan tennis shoes, because all the other kids had Michael Jordan tennis shoes. And I always made great money, but I was not going to pay $200 for some Michael Jordan tennis shoes. Just wouldn't do it. But I had to find out a way to do it with love, that he would accept my love and my understanding. And he got into the saggy pants things when he was in 3rd grade, and just sagging his pants when he would walk up to school. And I came up one day and I saw him. I go, son, put those pants up. I don't do that. You don't do that. When you do that, you represent me. And when you do that, you're showing that you don't respect me and love me. So, okay, Dad. So now with the pants, I'm going to go with the pants first. Week later, I'm going to work. I start off a little bit early, and I go up I'm riding up the street. There he is. He done dropped his pants. And he's walking up the street with the little boys. I just gracefully pulled up behind him, got out the car, took my belt, and I whipped him until he put the pants back up on his waist. And I said, if I ever like this again, disrespecting me and yourself, I will beat you to death. And I know you Christian fathers out there is up against me on this, but I meant that because I'm trying to structure in love.
Right.
The second one was, I said, son, come here, let me show you something. Now I'm teaching mathematics, I'm teaching how to spend money, and I'm teaching the value. I said, son, if I buy you a $200 pair of tennis shoes, that's all you're going to have, and Michael Jordan's name's going to be on the side. But you can go over here, and I can buy you some Nikes. I can get you 2 pair of Nikes, different colors, and a pair of pants and a shirt for the same price, and you're going to have more. And he thought about it, and he said, okay, Dad, I want to do that. So that's kind of the way I showed him love in structure. Yeah. And at the same time, I taught him some other value money, and how not to just walk around with Michael Jordan name on your shoes, if that means that it's going to break your daddy, you know. But I can do more. So that's kind of the example I wanted to give for structure, you know. And to this day, he doesn't sag. Today, he doesn't buy any Jordans. I got 2 grandsons by him, and he buys, you know.
Can I say one thing? Nike make Jordans. Nike make Jordans.
But they were cheaper.
Yeah, you could have said, son, I buy you a pair of Nikes and I can say.
But the thing that made you able to show your structural love to your love that
I
you have for
me.
yourself, for your
I wasn't wearing
for your-
Jordans either.
for your dependence. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
what you did for
Yeah.
yourself, I guess as Jay was saying, is as an individual like me, I love I love that I'm not necessarily independent
Mhm.
because I don't mind dependency either
Okay.
because it's not about say that right, but I'm gonna leave that one alone. But you know, I love the person that I love how I can listen to anyone. I get along with anybody and not give my opinion, even though I think I should. That I can hold my tongue. I love that I can appreciate who I am. I love who I am in my body. I don't have to be that size two that they think everybody's supposed to look at me
That's
beautiful.
right.
Because
I'm
saying,
gonna go on
sorry,
record.
I love
I'm
you.
gonna go on record. Most black
She's
men
a
love
giant.
thick women anyway. I'm on record for that, Brother Jay. Lady K, don't you agree with that?
I mean,
You know,
I'm standing
and
on
you
6
got
foot.
some-
I love my height.
I don't want to get your love one.
taller than Jack.
Some white men like thick women too.
Well, men just like, you don't have to say black or white.
Yes, they
just
do.
like white. Because you don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
But I love I'm going to tell you why I love myself. Sister Soldier love herself because she got a humor.
Yes.
Sister Soldier love herself because she's an independent, very strong black woman.
Tell it. Yes, she is.
I guess that's what I'm speaking of because can't nobody handle Sister Soldier but Sister Soldier. I love my independence. I love when I can get up, wake up when I want to, go to bed when I want to. When I eat, everybody in the household had to eat. Household. Cook my own food, pay my own bills. I just love me.
So you would be a good example of loving yourself because in order to be alone and not have a partner in life, you gotta love yourself. You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have been loving myself for the last 7 years.
But believe it or not, we say we love ourselves. When you look in the mirror, getting yourself together in the morning, I mean, you really give yourself a pep talk. Oh, I look good this morning.
Yeah, you put a little makeup and chance the beauty that you already have.
You know what I'm saying?
Because if you notice, I don't wear a lot of I wear lipstick, eyeliner. I just put on eyeshadow today, and mascara because I'm already beautiful. I'm just enchanted with beauty by bringing out my eyes and my lips.
Well, y'all see, I have even less than she do. All I have on is eyeliner and Carmen.
This is
I love myself.
Brother Jay.
Yeah.
This is not the dating show. These ladies.
We were asked if we were going to open up a Jay show.
Yeah.
Dating's like,
Yeah, but most people who love themselves, they will brag about it. Be braggadocious, you know, be open about it. Be
And would you say that's what we're not able
Is that a
to
new
do?
one
What
I
y'all
missed?
get is claimed in.
Is that a
The
new
youth
one?
is not able.
Oh, I missed that
The
one.
youth hadn't come to in their life to love themselves. What y'all just said, getting in the mirror saying, "Man, I love me. Man, I look good."
I don't even get
No
in
matter
there.
what nobody says.
I just say, oh, I just love me, girl. Look at this.
But you do that. The youth don't even, they don't have the same
Attitude.
right.
They don't have the same
you know,
attitude.
I mean, even me with my 3 kids,
But it's social media that's influencing them. They got the media that's influencing them. They got celebrities that influence them. Like this. My purse, you can look like this. How you gonna buy a Prada Gucci for $300, $400, $5,000? It ain't got $5 to keep in it. Please, I do not buy designer bags.
As my daughter wanted a Michael Kors for Christmas. Really?
Oh, and he the one that say he don't like blacks.
I wish I would have bought
Well, not him himself. His
No,
said that he didn't like blacks.
Not Michael
He don't
himself.
mind blacks buying their products. That's gonna make a real. He don't like black. I don't buy no Michael
That's the
Kors.
same thing with her heel
Okay,
figure.
I buy me
Black folks is
a
wearing
nice.
heel figure.
I buy me a nice, good leather purse. If it happen to be on sale, and have Jessica Tandy or whatever that chick name is on it, and I paid $30 for it. Everybody else been paying $200. I'm gonna buy that purse because I can put $30 in that purse and carry that around.
You can put $200 in that purse and
And
carry that
carry
purse.
it.
Now
But you can't put
ain't
no
paid
$5,000 you done paid for a product in that purse if you ain't got it. Please. My thing is that's expensive cow because it's made out of leather, right? So really, you just paying for the name. You paying for that person's name to be on your purse. If you want that person's name to be, just write it on there.
My
buy a nice little.
my next to the oldest daughter, she's 25, and when she dated, she always dated the rough cat, the drug dealer,
She like her
the
thug,
slanger.
huh?
Yeah, and I would say, honey,
But some women like those.
I would say, why are you dating this type of guy when you educated, you smart, you brilliant, and there's guys you went to school with that have made it successful. She had one guy that already bought a house and a car for her, and I said, why won't you go with this guy? And you always go with the thug. And this is on the level of having a standard, and then also having a value of what love is and how to engage in a relationship that you're going to get the fullness of what you want for yourself. But she always been honest with me. She said, you know what, Dad? She said, I don't know. She said, it's just something I like about a thuggish man. She said, but I hope I grow out of it soon.
She will.
And she have. She just did last year.
Yeah.
But see, I didn't pressure her and I didn't condemn her. I just talked to her about it. And then one day she called me up and she said, guess what, Dad? You're not going to believe it. I said, what, honey? She said, I met a man that doesn't party, doesn't drink, and he goes to church. I said, wait a minute, could you hang up and call me back again? Because this is not my daughter.
Make sure he ain't a serial killer.
Yeah, but after it took her,
quiet
she
ones.
started dating these thuggish guys at age 18 to 25, and at 25 she finally had enough. But I hope that I played an increment part in her life by not chastising her or criticizing her
Right, plus
and letting her. Gas for me, but she grew out of that. But it's like Lady K said, she had to grow through that, had to learn, had to go through that process. You know, as parents, we have to let that process, but at the same time, every once in a while, peek our head in and teach a little bit, love a little bit, love a little bit. Come out, you know, and let them kind of.
Yeah, and it's hard.
It's
hard.
hard.
To sit back. Yeah, it's to sit back when you see a child doing strange things.
Yeah.
And you know that it's not going to benefit them in a positive way, but you know, you have to learn how to step back and just take your hands off. And I pray. I know Sister Soldier don't want to talk about religion, but I pray and I keep them in prayer.
Every time I talk, and I say
And I do. I cover my children in prayer, and I leave it in God's hands. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
well, let me clarify that. It isn't that. Let me clarify that. It isn't that I speak in far as spiritual, religious tones. But every time I say something, you get one of these righteous ministers come to jail. And you say that. Why you do that? So I'm trying to stay away from religion. Say spiritual or religious.
From that,
Right.
but we do let it come in.
And every once in a while, you know, when you talk about life in general,
It has to.
relationships or something,
Yeah.
God is in there. God gonna always be there in there. But sometimes I say something that they don't like, and they come to Jay and say, "Well, she said this."
Well,
and
I
why
say
she
a lot
said
of things.
Let be on Brother J.
So,
too. Yeah.
I try to be cool to keep Jay out of the hot water.
Oh, okay, all right.
Cause they ain't gonna tell me that my face. They tell Jay.
You be good.
Yeah, they won't
You be
tell
good.
me. But
All
they'll
right.
tell.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so it's been pretty interesting tonight, huh?
It has. It's a great topic. I know when I I read what you had wanted to present to us at the show, I wrote actually 3 paragraphs on it before I graded you. I gave you a number between 1 and 3.
So graded.
We all graded you.
Well,
See, I don't know the process. No one told me the process.
we pull all the ones
Yeah.
that had put into the pot, and we grade them on a number from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. And what they and what they say, I didn't do the scripture like he did, 4 or 5 chapters. I like what you. I like what you said because we had it in the top. We had it in one of our shows earlier. We talked about it. We talked about it, but we didn't, do more elaborate discussion on it. But we did talk about it about and certain things. And so, that's why I liked it. I said, yes, you're right, because I always say that you always got to love before you love.
It's such a great topic. Right. It is. Just because I wasn't on the show when they first had the topic, so I just really just dug into it, real deep and
well, that might even be where I got it from, because I've been watching the show since day. Well, I've been trying to listen to the show. Sometimes it just listen, and it might have been where I got it from. It just stuck in my head.
But it meant something to you enough to bring it back up.
When I seen that about put some. I just did it to do it, to be a part.
Yeah. So that was good. So we get a chance to talk about it and everything.
Now I kind of went to it because being a minister, and I try to stay away from that too because I know what the show is, and we do. We elaborate on the spiritualness of everything that happens in our life, and we all at one point touch on it a little bit. But when I wrote down that first of all, you have to have a relationship and an understanding of your God and who Jesus is, and that Jesus spoke and said that love covers all things. So whatever happens in your life, love covers it. And in understanding, knowing that, you have to love yourself. And then I elaborated about the third. I said, when you get into that learning to loving yourself or you love somebody else, make sure you tell the person what it is you love about yourself and what it is that you are looking for out of a relationship that reflects on your love for yourself. And then you find out what that person feels about himself and loving himself, and you find out where he is spiritually. And then if you find out both of you are spiritually connected with God and the Lord, then try to bring that foundation into the relationship. Because with a foundation like that, you're going to succeed. Now, I'm not saying to the world out there who is atheists or that you can't be happy. I'm saying on a Christian foundation, or how I looked at your request, that's the analogy that I use. Because if you love yourself and you're going in to love someone, first make sure that person has the same feelings about your Lord, your God, or who you are before you go into that relationship. Because I think if you're atheist and you meet that should be good together. But an atheist trying to meet somebody in conflict. But we meet that, and I'm not saying a Christian can't love an atheist, because the Bible says you can, because it said God's grace is sufficient.
I baptized that. Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Yeah, I baptized.
So that's kind of how I answered that, and I'm just open for elaboration on what I said, because I think that for me, this is all new for me, because I wasn't on the first show. This can just go into areas that we've already covered.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Topic.
But like I said, we just talked about it a little bit. We didn't get deep into it until now.
All right. Let's see. Let's well, Ricky, I guess you already put in your end of the show commentary.
Yeah, that's mine.
All right. All right, Sister Soldier, let's hear from you.
I don't have no commentary, because I love me some me. But I think everyone should like Carolina said, everyone should find their self-worth in order to make up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that.
About that? About that? Oh, all
Miss
right.
Southern Belle, Sister Soldier.
Yeah.
All right.
Living in Tennessee too long.
Well, DC girl Oprah Winfrey K.
take that today.
What it is? What it is? What it is? What it
He
is?
trying to get back
What
because you called him
it is? What it
Pookie
is?
from New Jack City last week.
Take that today.
Yeah, he tried to get you back from calling Pookie.
Just don't call me Day Day. I'll be all right.
Who is Day?
For Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. From
Day Day.
Friday.
You know I gotta remember Day Day.
Yeah.
That's my daughter's nickname.
Day Day. Okay.
Yeah, I forget about that. That's it.
I'll see you in that moment again. Y'all heard that? Mm.
I just want to say thank you to our special guest for the topic for today.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you bringing the topic to the show. It has been a interesting conversation. I appreciate your viewpoint, and I thank you for participating with all of that.
Yeah, all us craziness.
What, short-haired people?
Yeah. Yeah. People. I will say this though, Jay, that it's our anniversary, and it's been a wonderful ride. It's been a wonderful ride from the first show to today. I've been on most of the shows. I was there at the beginning. I took Sister Soldier took a little hiatus. But all in all, you know, I love the show. I love the premise of the show. And I feel as though we're doing good work and that we bring topics to the table and discussions to the table that are relevant. That people can listen to the show, they can watch the show, and hopefully walk away and take something that we said with them that will help them and that will enable them to have more positive relationships. The topic I don't have anything else to add to the topic for tonight. I mean, like I said, everybody has a personal journey to self-realization as to what love is to them and how you love yourself. You love yourself, it opens up so many doors. Not just to love another person, but it opens up other doors. You know, in your personal life, you just start to see things blossom. You'll start to see things come alive in your life when you learn how to love yourself. Right. And it spreads over many different areas. That's all I got.
All right.
All right, Sir Jay.
All right. Well, not to Jay yet. We have to present our gifts with the prize.
All right.
With the prize.
Yeah.
Here, hand it over to the prize. All right. Show the viewers what you have won. Oh, it's a tablet, a phone, set. People call them toys. I don't know, but huh? Yeah.
We're gonna discard the toy.
All right. So, any last words, Miss Carlotta Luster?
No, thank you.
She said no and thank you.
Thank you. You know that's just how folks, they get the prize and they scat.
They climb up.
They just scat.
I guess they want you to
And that's what they normally say. That's what they also say. Thank you.
I would like to thank Jay Talks Today's Relationship and the cast, and it's been a good. I've been with y'all and the shows I've got to listen to, and I can't get it live all the times. I work usually, and I'm glad I was off today and was able to come and participate. And I appreciate it, and thank you so much. I'm going to enjoy my phablet and keep up the good work, and happy anniversary.
Thank you. She brought it home.
All right. That's what I like it. Yeah, all right. That's what I like it. All right. All right. Well, it's down to my time. I've been silent all this time.
Could you tell us who we're going to get first? Are we going to get Jeffrey, the J, or Jay?
But you might get all of them. All of them.
You probably will get all of them.
Yeah, you put all of them tonight. Yeah.
Lady K.
Let me
my
get
God.
that. I gotta get that K moment. Where folks, no ignorant jokes tonight. It's really been. We've and just as Lady K has said, we've been on this show for holding this show for a year, and it has been fun. I'm sure those that followed us have seen our makeup and looks from the first stage of the first show, and how our makeup and look is now. God has really blessed us. We're still growing. And still moving into different areas. We're now also broadcasting on blogtalkradio.com.
Yes.
You can also find us on YouTube, our website. You can go to our Facebook and click any link that to any one of those areas. And we're still moving up. We're going to go to FM soon. All right. Yeah, we're going to branch out. Before you know it, you hear about J Talks Today. Relationship show all over the place. All right, that's our goal, to get out all over the world. And we love us some us.
Yes,
all
we
right,
do.
we do love us some us.
Yes.
I
And
can say I was on there when they was the little people.
we're still little people.
People-
We're still little people. We just got big minds.
Yeah.
Big
Oh,
minds.
man.
Yo, when nobody knew us.
Yeah.
When we had like one watcher, right?
That was me.
Well, we had one watcher.
But we have
wow.
grown since then. We
Yeah.
got over 1,900 views.
Yeah,
So
like,
we have
People
a
talking
talk.
about it now.
And Brother
Yeah,
Jay, what
yeah.
did we get ranked on the new podcast? Or you
On the Blog Talk Radio, we're already in the front of the pages on Blog Talk Radio. All right. So we are really proud of the format, and as many people already know, and those that are new, we don't come in here formatted or scripted or anything. We have our topic, and we come to you. This is real talk in realism.
Off the hip.
Straight
All
from
right.
the heart.
All right. Every now and then we have to put in some disclaimers, but yeah, every now and then we do.
Every now and then.
Yeah, a disclaimer has to be put in, but but I think you all understand why. We're working on our professionalism. Professionalism, yes. We have to. We have to thank Sister Soldier for that one. All right, all right,
They ain't
all
never
right.
forget
She's
me.
our vocabulary expert here.
Hey, I make them my
And we have to also appreciate those that started off with us, like L. Dale, because he was a big contributor in the beginning of the show. So hats off to you, L. All right. But yeah, woo.
He didn't want to leave it to people. Are you kidding me?
And I know, and I just want to plug this in. A lot of people tend to ask. I've heard over the many months over this year period, people have asked to say, personally said, "Jay, you don't talk much, but everybody talks more than you." And it says Jay talk.
Oh, no.
And-
Nobody. Oh, no. You tell them they got that wrong.
Well, there y'all go, folks.
You
That-
talk.
All right.
He talked as three persons.
Jeff,
Jay,
the
the
Jay.
So, yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've said all my professionalism accolades.
I don't know where he got that one from.
Man.
That's his own word.
I know the word.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm working on my
You can-
professionalism.
You can look up accolades. If you don't know what accolades mean, look it up later.
He throwing in some stuff on the education.
Yeah, on the education. you're getting that together too, right here. Y'all, if y'all really want to learn, just check out the Jay Talks Today's Relationship Show.
Right.
You'll learn today.
Getting all those silly
They say he don't talk.
But on the subject that we had tonight, how can you love yourself before being in love with someone else? Just capping on what everybody has said tonight. About loving yourself. The one thing I just want to share as we're closing out is that there really does need to be a structure. You need to know yourself. You need to know what your design that you want for yourself, because if you don't have any design, any direction for yourself, you don't know what you love about yourself. And you'll do almost anything. You'll act almost any kind of way. You'll take in almost any kind of people, because you don't have a definition of who you are, and you don't have a definition of what you want out of life. So when loving yourself, define who you let other people define you. Lady K, Sister Soldier said some things about loving themselves. They love their independence. They love they love that just basically who they are. And they said some definitions. You could go down. You can tell someone you're a fool, and they'll say, "Well, what's a fool?" And when you use the same word, well, it's just a fool. You haven't told them anything, because you haven't given them a description of how they're being defined or named a fool. So until you come up with definitions that describe what you're saying, and either by portrayal acts or by words, whether written or spoken, we really aren't giving people direction. So hopefully, as those that listen to this show, whether live or you archive it, hopefully it may plant some thoughts that may take you in a direction where now when you start talking about love, or when you're talking to people about what they should love or how they love, that you start giving them definitions and a guide, an outlook. Because if we don't do that, we're just being just like and just saying, well, you're a fool, and have no definition to describe what a fool is, or why that person deserves to be called a fool, or be called whatever. But we do this thing, and as Brother Ricky said, every now and then we talk on religion. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. If y'all, they hit me up on Bad Boys Reality. Y'all need to go back and check that one out. But in my closing, one of the things that it says is that love is kind. How can you be kind to somebody else if you're not kind to yourself? I mean, if you put yourself in situations and you take in somebody who's beating on you, are you kind to yourself? I mean, so how can you be kind to somebody else if you ain't kind to yourself? That's part of being loved. Love does not envy. I mean, if you know who you are and you're content with who you are, why are you worrying about everybody else? I mean, why are you hating on everybody else, and insecure about everybody else? Evidently, you must be insecure about who you are, Talks about, love is not self-seeking. That, again, it has to do with independency. You don't need to have, if you are independent, you got dependent and independent. If it's not self-seeking, if you're independent, you ain't worried about what other people can do for you. You ain't got to seek out to other people to do for you if you are really independent. All right? So, and you love yourself, I'm just throwing out definitions, something to define what love is. Just some things just to throw out. Define who you are. And when you do, that's when you become at the point where you actually love yourself. And once you get to that that, oh, you can love almost anybody. All right? All right, this is Jay finally finishing his talk on the talk today's relationship.
Thank
But I do want to say one other thing. Jay does love himself. Jay loves himself, and you know, thank you, Sister Soldier, a little earlier. But I'm gonna put it in a different way. See, Jay loves himself in a threesome party.
Yes.
Yeah, a threesome party. It's the me, myself, and I. It's the, you know, my full name is Jeffrey Jerome Jerkins. So it's the Jeff and the Jerome and the Jay. We gonna party all night long, all day long. All right. Can't nobody party like we party. All right.
Praise Jeff, praise
All right.
Jeff. That's the first time he gave his own opinion
Oh,
without beating around the bush.
all right.
That's true.
All right. So, folks, you have heard it all on the J Talk Today Relationship Show, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.
And love and soul.
He went to the soul track. That's what
Pookie didn't say so.